How to stay healthy if you have to eat late at night. In a perfect world, we'd have very consistent meal timings. But you and I know that the world is not perfect, and sometimes we have late meetings, or we have projects to do, or we have kids waking up, and we can't always eat at a consistent time. And there is a myth out there that if you have to eat late at night, it's really, really bad for you, and you should not eat at all. So, if you have to eat late at night, what do you do to make sure that your sleep is not affected, and you still get good nutrition, and you don't have too many of the negative effects that you may think you may have from eating late at night? I myself travel a lot and I have young kids, so sometimes my meal timing is disrupted. So here are the principles I use to make sure that my sleep is not affected and I still manage to get healthy nutrition. The first thing you should know is what foods give you personally an allergenic effect. Now this doesn't mean those very serious allergies where you eat, let's say, some people have peanuts and they can't breathe. Okay, those are very serious allergies. What I'm talking about is those subclinical allergies, which are maybe you feel a bit lower energy, maybe you feel a bit bloated, maybe you get a bit more pimples. These kind of foods you should not eat anytime, but especially not before you sleep, because they do tend to cause inflammation, and in an inflammation state, your body will release more stress hormones, which will not only may feel bloated, but you also will have trouble sleeping or staying asleep. High stress hormones, bad sleep quality. The second piece of advice is that you should choose foods that you can digest easily. If your digestion is not great, a lot of people, if you have a lot of stress hormones tend to break down the lining of the digestive tract, which impairs our digestion and makes more foods harder to digest. So what you should do is eat foods that you know you can digest well. For example, my digestion, I've taken a lot of time to make sure it's healthy, so I could eat a steak half an hour before sleeping, no problem for me. But if you cannot, you have to use a easier to digest source of protein. Maybe it's minced meat, which is easier to digest. You could also chew more, which makes foods easier to digest. If minced meat, still gives you a bit of, tough to digest, bloated kind of feeling, hey, go down somewhere easier to maybe fish or seafood, which is easier to digest than most other meats. If that's still not okay, go down to something like yogurt or milk or a protein shake. So move down in terms of the protein source, what you're going to eat that's easier to digest. You do the same thing for the carbohydrate source, which means that, maybe sweet potatoes, you have a bit of trouble. You go back down to maybe normal potatoes. Down a bit, maybe white rice. Down a bit, still cannot, maybe you go to fruit. Then if that still cannot, maybe you go to some fruit juice. You take the foods down a level until you find that, hey, it's no problem to digest. The third piece of advice is, do not eat protein on its own. There is a myth out there that says, hey, if you eat carbs late at night, you get fat easily. Well, it kind of depends how much carbs you're eating, what you ate during the whole day. Do you add, are those carbs fried? Are they in the form of a piece of fruit, or are those carbs in the form of a piece of fruit, or are they in the form of a biscuit or a piece of cake? They are not the same situation for your body. So, my suggestion is not to eat protein alone, because if you just eat protein does raise insulin, which will cause blood sugar in most people to go too low or crash. When your blood sugar crashes in the middle of the night, you will wake up from your sleep. Low blood sugar is a common cause of waking up in the middle of the night. So if you're going to eat late at night, at 12 o'clock, you need to eat protein because it helps your body repair and detoxify. But you also want to eat carbohydrates so that you don't get that blood sugar crash. My suggestion, if you really have trouble sleeping, is to just go with fruit or fruit juice. The fructose also builds up your liver glycogen, which tells your body there's plenty of food. You can drop the stress hormones, stay calm, and stay asleep. So there we have it, the 3 tips. Number 1, don't eat allergenic foods. Number 2, eat foods that are easy to digest. And number 3, eat carbohydrates with your last meal of the day. In my experience, if you follow these 3 tips, it really doesn't matter that much what time you eat your last meal. It's not such a critical thing, the timing. Hope you can try this and I hope you find it useful. Please subscribe to my channel for more science-based health tips to help you fight hard and fight smart for your health.